if you'll state your full name.
James Dean Gilbert.
Okay. And this is Lula?
Lula.
And what was her maiden name?
Staton. Never married.
Okay, because you are her
Nephew.
What is Lula's date of birth?
I don't know. What is it?
October the 2nd, 1912.
October 2nd, 1912.
Okay. And so she is 99
Right.
years old. Lula, congratulations, 99 years old. That's wonderful. Did you hear me?
She probably didn't hear you.
Okay. All right. And where was she born?
As far as I know, Saluda.
And who were her parents?
Tom and Bessie Staton.
Yeah.
Right there?
No, hold up.
Tom and Bessie Staton. Now Staton is a old Saluda name. I know that I've seen it back as almost as far back as Pace, so it's a
Yeah, it's old, yeah.
very old name. Do you have any idea how long her family's been in Saluda?
Since I know I've got a trunk over at the house over there, her grandpa made. He built it in 1888, so pretty old.
Who was her grandpa?
Montyville, Thomas Staton, no? M.M. Montyville. All I ever knew was Montyville Staton.
Okay.
M.M. Staton.
He was a preacher.
I actually think I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Okay. And where was he a preacher?
All around Fort Creek, Piney Grove,
All around Saluda.
all around Saluda, yeah.
He was ordained at the First Baptist Church. Did I give you that information one time?
I don't think so. If you got it, I'll get it.
So, has she ever shared any of her memories of Saluda? Any interesting stories about what Saluda was like? Well, for instance, where did she go to school?
She went to ask her. I can't remember which.
Fine, I think. Did you ever go to school in Saluda?
No, I don't think so.
You went in Tryon, didn't you? Okay.
How many grades you go to?
I don't know.
Not many, did you?
Not many. Hey, Johnny, Janet. I don't want no sugar now.
Oh.
But they lived down in the Milltown area.
Yeah, they did for a while, yeah.
Of Tryon.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to school when she was down there in Tryon.
Okay.
No scratch.
That sweet dog.
Did you never worked in the mill down in Tryon at all, did you?
Worked at Adam Miller's.
Mama did.
So, where did she live in Saluda? Where did she live when she was little? Where did she live?
Staton Ridge. That's over in the past Fort Creek, a good little ways.
Okay.
Out in the country.
Way out in the country.
Out from,
It's called Staton Ridge.
okay.
Did she ever ride the train?
Did you ever ride the train that came through Saluda?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can she tell us a little bit about it?
Tell us a little bit about that. Did you go to Hendersonville or to Tryon or where?
I went to Hendersonville on
Did you?
it. And rode it from Tryon up here when I was working down there.
At Adams Millis, when you worked at Adams Millis?
How much did it cost? Does she remember?
Do you remember how much it cost to ride it?
No,
Probably a dime or a quarter.
I've been that, I don't know.
I bet. So did you have to wait on the train long after you got off work, or?
I don't remember that now.
Oh, okay. What did you ride it to Hendersonville for? To work up there or just to
No.
town?
Just town, get groceries, and bring them back.
Oh,
Go shopping.
go shopping in Hendersonville, huh? You used to shop out at Ward's a lot, didn't you?
Yeah,
And where else?
that was all the good.
Paces? Didn't you go to Paces? Fred Paces?
Sometimes, but I just go there to get something.
Gordon's, John Gordon had a store.
Do you remember John Gordon's store?
Yeah,
How long ago was it when Papa had the ice plant down across from the old depot?
that's been many days ago.
60 years.
James was born.
He was.
Yeah, he used to go with him, he told me.
Yeah, about 10 years old, so it's been 60 years.
You know more about it now than I do, honey.
Was that down there where Hammond Pace had?
Yeah, Hannon, yeah.
I knew he had an ice house there.
Yeah, he had the old ice house. And Grandpa,
Across from the depot.
yeah, he kept it after Hannon died or whatever. Bud Allman used to deliver the ice for Grandpa,
From work.
and we'd take it around these summer houses during the
Yeah.
summer, and whoever needed it.
Had an ice place, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was fun back then. I was young, but it was fun.
He said it kept him busy in the summer when they had all the people that were here from Charleston, you know.
Oh yeah,
He used to bring
Having
ice
parties.
to JB's mama.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was fun. We have a few hobos. I remember that Lula and her mom, Grandma, used to cook a big dinner on Sunday, and sometimes Russell Hobart would bring it, me and him, lunch down there, and we used to have a lot of hobos off of the train, and they'd come over and want something to eat, and Grandpa had some crackers and little cakes in there, a nickel a piece or something, you know, and she'd send a half a pound of cornbread, and he'd say, "I give you some cornbread, about all I got in the Coke," or whatever, and he'd give it to them, and they'd tickled to death. Hop back on a train, and away they'd go.
So there really was such a thing as a hobo.
Oh yeah, oh lots of them back then. Yeah, 'cause I was about 10 years old when I was down there with him.
It was by the time the war started and the defense plants that needed helpers. It was before they started coming out of depression.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Now, James, let's talk a little bit about what you remember, because you're still spry. You got a good memory, I'm sure. So.
Oh, I don't know. I want to say I'm still spry.
So, let's see. Now, you were in the fire department. Is that?
Correct. Yeah, I joined when I was 15.
Wow.
Junior fireman, 15 years old.
Are you still in it?
I retired out when I got sick. I had
All
to.
volunteer.
Yeah, it's a volunteer. Well, we got paid ones now, one on each shift. One fireman paid, but yeah, like I say, Kay Connor was chief, and we started selling bricks, $1 a brick, to build that building up there, and
The senior center now.
yeah, and we had that old fire truck's all we had, and half the time when we got a call, we'd have to push it down Main Street to get the crank, and
Now, what year were you pushing it down Main Street? What year were you having to do that? Around
15. What would that be, Jay? In the 60s.
in the 60s. Okay.
Yeah.
Time they got to the fire, it was burned up.
Yeah, it was about burned up time we got there,
They
but
did on
In the
that.
early 60s.
it finally blowed up. We moved it up there to the new building when we got it built, and Jack Morse was involved in it and helping build it and stuff. And he found an old oil tanker somewhere, and we had it fixed into a water tanker. And let's see, then Jack Ward became chief, and our old truck blew up. The motor blowed in it, so got a hold of the representative for this area, and she got us a pumper out of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. That the military had abandoned. It was a good truck. We went and got it, and we had that for a long time. And then we started a drive to buy a new truck, and people really donated, and we bought the first pumper, really a good pumper, probably in the late 60s, that we ever had till now. And other than that, we, let's see, Jack Ward, then A.G. Hilt was chief for a while, and
Wasn't Jack?
then Jack Morris was chief, and he got sick, and they elected me chief, and I served for a bunch of years. I don't know how many. We started the EMT program when I was chief. We started the tax burden for Henderson County and Polk County. When we first was operating that old truck down there, the city gave us $3,000 a year to operate. That would only buy the gas, just about. But we had fundraisers. The ladies, you know, spaghetti suppers and barbecues and this, that, and the other. Raised, yeah, ice cream socials to get money. But once we got that tax base in, I think today they're pretty well off. I don't know exact numbers, but I'd say they're in pretty good shape, because we got about 7 or 8 trucks.
That's a big fire department for a small.
Yes, it is. But we got mutual aid with Columbus, Tryon, Blue Ridge. Hey, all the Henderson County departments,
Green River.
yeah, Green River, if you need them, all of them. I've even had Hendersonville down here on when we had a major wreck on 26, bringing foam down.
And
So you all were first responders.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Do you recall any really, is there like any particular fire that stands out in your mind of like a historic building that burned, or anything that really was a challenge that would interest you think to the
Yeah, probably 2 or 3. One, the boys' house, which is an old antique house above. You know, I can't remember their last name. Boyles.
and the Hooper.
Ryan, Bill Ryan.
That was the
House.
the commissioner. You know, Boyles.
Jim Boyles and
Jim, yeah.
Yes.
Bill Ryan.
They had
They
a
lived in the house up above wherever their antique shop is.
Yeah, Jeff Bradley found out when he was delivering papers.
That was
Yeah.
the old general's house.
yeah, it was.
My grandfather used to own that.
Yes, he did. That was a
Wow.
big fire, full of antiques, and we couldn't do anything with it. We didn't have the
Now,
equipment
was
back
that
then.
General King's house, or was that General Myers' house?
I think King.
It was King, but
Because Myers came and helped take care of King. I know they were good friends, and he would come up and help take care of the.
General Myers rented it.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay. I know they were really good friends, and Myers came up a lot, but I thought King actually lived in it. It was his home. So I think he bought that from my grandfather.
Then we had a big house burn over on Lake Jose once, brand new. Well, just had it reconditioned. And there again, we didn't have the equipment to fight it like we should have, so we lost it. It was a big house, big summer house. Had plenty of water, the lake, but just didn't have the pumpers to do a super job. Several really tremendous wood fires that started down in the valley and came all the way up the mountain and got around those houses out on Warrior Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
And we had 5 or 6 fire departments in here helping us protect those houses. And it burnt for, that particular one burnt 3 days. I called for extra help from the state, and they brought in a bunch of National Guard troops to help. And we were out at Warrior Mountain Church eating. The ladies all around that area and our girls had prepared meals, you know, all day long, every day. And we were eating dinner. It was just about dark, and Blue Ridge Chief called me and said, "Hang on, Jakey. Just a few minutes of rain's going to be there." And it wasn't 10 minutes till the sky opened up and put our fire out.
Wow. How about that?
Lord sent the rain.
That's right.
That was a big one. And we had several major wrecks. One of them I remember was a tanker went over the mountain, and of course they called us out, and we went camping down there to see what was going on. And the driver told us it was very explosive. I'll never forget it, A.G. Hip. I said, heck with it. He went down there with a cigarette up on top. I said, A.G., get out of there. This guy said it's going to blow up. That's some of the memorable ones, you know, some of the memory ones that are stand out. But we had a lot of EMT calls, and after we got started, had a lot. I mean, in the past, nobody ever called us for EMT call, you know. They just died, you know. But I think the first call we ever got, we got our radios, and the first call we ever had, Darnell Ashley was my assistant chief, and I was down at Jack Morse's, and I was car 230, and they hollered Henderson County to 230. You have a victim down on Thompson Road, and we took off down there, and it was Raymond Thompson, had a heart attack, and we,
July.
yeah. So that was our first call.
On Grace, wasn't it?
Yep, down at Vivian's. Thompson's. That was the first
Anderson.
EMT. I sure wish we had their old truck back, but it got stole, and
Your truck got stolen?
the really old one,
The old,
one that had that painting on. You saw the painting?
Antique.
It was
Where
antique.
was it when it was stolen?
Yeah, in the
In the
street, on the street
On
there,
the street.
and somebody stole it, and FBI found it.
Jack's.
Huh?
I thought it was down at Jack's on the road. No, it was on Main Street.
Yeah, it was on Main Street,
Okay.
and we didn't have nothing right then, you know. And well, we did. We had a pumper. FBI found it in Atlanta, I believe, somewhere in Georgia, and told us if we valued our life, we'd leave it be.
What was that supposed to mean?
Bunch of crooks. Just a little bit after that, down at Jack Morse's in that pond, they raided the place, the FBI did, and found all kind of stolen automobiles in his little lake down there. So they were stripping them down
Oh,
and taking them, but I don't know who got our fire truck, but I sure wish we had it back.
They're doing that right now.
They
Did you
had
know
that
that?
big old tin building behind
Mhm.
Jack Morse's.
I'd sure left to have it back now. It'd be a beautiful parade piece.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
1927 Chevrolet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the Parker boys was going down to see what was going on, and they bought the Parker place, so they had to move.
Yeah. It was a weird time.
So did you go to school at the Saluda School?
I graduated from Saluda School.
In what year?
1960, I believe it was. There's 7 of us in our class that started in the first grade. We had Joyce Ward came back and took a course. Leland boy, I can't think of his name.
Tatum,
No, not Cater.
Tom
Loftus Leland came back and took one course, and Arnoldine Jones came back and they all had to take English. They had failed that and didn't have enough credits, but there was 6 girls and me.
So I bet you went all the way from 1st to 12th
Yeah,
through there.
well, yeah, all together, yeah.
Did you ever have my grandmother as a teacher? Kathleen Stevenson. She taught just about everybody that went.
No, I don't believe I ever had Miss Kathleen. I don't think. I don't remember her. Had Miss Dan Pace. She was a character. Had Beatty Hall's wife. Miss Hall was great. Miss Edwards.
first grade for
Yeah.
40 years.
Can't remember too many more of them, but
Miss Baston, did you have Miss Baston?
no.
She's already gone by then.
Yeah. No, I didn't have her. Nope, that was
Who
pretty
your
interesting.
principal? Do you remember who your principal was when you graduated?
I don't remember exactly who it was when I graduated. Doc Sawyer was over there most of the time I was in school. Remember?
I hate to say Dr. Sawyer was there.
Yeah, Dr. Sawyer was there for years. And
Did you say 60?
yeah,
He's already gone.
yeah, I don't remember who was there now. Can't remember. But it was something else. I reckon.
Champion was there for a long time.
Who?
Champion.
They don't necessarily ring a bell. But I
There
don't-
was some of them that just stayed a year or two. Honeycutt just stayed.
yeah, they didn't stay. Some of them didn't.
But that
I reckon all of us are still living. That graduated together, the 6 girls and me.
Who was some of the ones that graduated with you?
Linda Forrest, Harriet Johnson, Emily Midcalf, Hazel somebody, Peggy Pace, Wade's daughter. Is that 6? That may be about 6. Emily, Peggy, Linda, Hazel, and one more, Harriet.
Well, it was small classes back then.
Yeah, it was small.
It was a
Yeah,
small school, and some of the lower grades had bigger classes.
Yeah.
As they got on up.
They dropped
they
out.
quit.
yeah. We had a lot more when we started, but over the years they just kept dropping out, and ended up 7 of us.
Now, were you also born and raised in Saluda your whole,
Yeah.
your whole life?
All my life.
All your life, okay. And why have you decided to stay? Why did you decide to stay?
Well, I found a job right after school, and well, actually, I run the barbecue restaurant when I got out of school. With Ed Emery, his wife, ran it, and for graduation, they didn't own the building. Miss Donnie Pace owned it, and for graduation, they gave me the business as a graduation present. Ed went and stocked it up, and he gave that to me, and
Now, where was this building?
where the barbecue is now.
It is now.
Where it is now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was called Saluda Cafe.
Saluda
So it's been a
Cafe.
barbecue place for a long
Well,
time.
no, I just had regular hot dog, hamburgers, and
Saluda Cafe.
Oh,
meals.
it was a cafe.
Yeah.